need a lot of money. May the event, it also needs a lot of money. If you remember, during COVID, Madiana Sekalo, and there were a lot of marriages. The decline is mostly for economic reasons. It doesn't mean people don't want to be together. You will realize that, what would happen, you would find people moving towards cohabitation around these times. People, because of the challenges that are there, people will find people moving towards the cohabitation. Not only because of economic reasons, but also because of the divorces that we are also facing as a country. We talked about decline in marriage, but there is also increase in divorce rates. People are now a bit hesitant to go into marriage because of the statistics that they see in divorces.
Right. I'm also interested because you mentioned earlier on that during COVID, when we were now experiencing that financial difficulties, there was skyrocketing of marriages. But in contrast, we are seeing also that because of financial challenges, people also are reluctant to get married. How do we strike the balance in here?
Yes, people are reluctant, especially men. Men are the ones who marry. And every man would want to raise a family in a stable setup. When they don't have money, they will be hesitant to go into marriage. They will try and wait and acquire something, because you go into marriage, you don't have money, they will be afraid. Maybe this woman, therefore I need to try and get my house in order before I marry. So this is why you will find, this is why I was saying it's probably for economic reasons why there is this sharp decline.
All right. But you also mentioned the issue of divorce, that this could also be another red flag, as to say those who are not yet married, they are looking at the high number of divorce rates in the country, and they're saying, why should we get into this covenant?
Yes, it's very, very true. The divorces are alarming. They're scary. And mainly because many of us, we go into marriage unprepared. We don't know much what marriage entails. We go blank. And when we get inside, we realize, no. The role of wife, I didn't prepare for this role. Yes, wife is a difficult role that I never envisaged. And then you find just adjusting to live together as married people is not easy. So you'll find people running away so quickly. And it will scare others, especially young people. It will scare others who are outside, hoping to go inside marriage.
All right. Now, marriage in Botswana has traditionally been seen as an important institution. How do you think changing cultural norms, especially young generation, are impacting marriage trends today? Because as you've already mentioned, young people looking at the divorce rates and everything encompassing marriages are reluctant to get married, even if they are of age.
Yes. Very, very true. Marriage is a very important thing. It is still a great idea. We still need more marriages. Society needs more marriages. The country needs more marriages, because we need to raise children in a very stable environment. And there's a lot of changes. There's a lot of changes. Young people, yes, like you mentioned, they are not quick to rush into marriage. A lot has changed. It's not only the children, the young people. You will also find that there is also need for the church to be involved. There is also a need for church to be involved, because in the past, people will be a bit fearful to go into relationships without marriage, especially to have children without marriage. But times have changed. It is so easy to have what you used to get inside marriage. Today is so easy to have it
outside of marriage.
Outside marriage. So many of us, we are now, the society has accepted that you can have children even without marriage, without being married. You can cohabit. Things have relaxed, and obviously they will affect a lot of things. But also, lack of commitment to our relationships. If you young people in multiple partner relationships, no commitment, and obviously it will also impact or affect how relationship will eventually end. Because you can easily drop this one, move to another one, drop this one, move to another one. So, but if you look back a few years back, people were more committed into building relationships.
Where can we say has been where have we missed the path? As you already mentioned, that if we look back, we can see that people really, our communities rather, really valued this institution of marriage.
Yes,
They really encourage young people. These days they will say,
Yes.
30,
Yes.
basari, it's like they're encouraging this cohabitation and divorces. Should we go back to the traditional way of doing things, but not even neglecting the issue that we are also, the culture is also dynamic, we're changing as a society.
Yes, culture is dynamic. It's dynamic. There are a lot of changes that are coming in that are affecting marriage. You know, women are also being empowered. Women are also being empowered. Times have changed. They no longer depend on men as much as they used to. And therefore they focus more on their careers. They focus more on developing themselves, and obviously you'll find they will not be in a hurry to go into marriage because they can also build life without getting married. In the past, the parents they would encourage unyalali. They would push you towards marriage, but times have changed. That is no longer happening. That encouragement is no longer happening. Maybe because they can see, even though you are alone or you are single, you are still making it. You are still making it. But there is probably also the GBV also could also be contributing to fear of getting married, because women are seeing other women being challenged inside marriage. So women are not in a hurry, mainly because they are empowered. They've been to school. Many of them have high-paying jobs, and obviously they will not be in a hurry to rush into marriage. Because
they've got stable life.
Yes.
So we'll get into those factors as we continue with our conversation. But earlier on you mentioned the issue of cost of living and economic uncertainty. Do you think financial challenges are contributing to fewer people getting married? If so, how? Because the other time we were discussing and we were talking about also the challenge of finances that also is a contributing factors to divorce.
Yes.
How is it contributing now to lack of marriages?
Yes. Now, you need money to marry. Minimum probably let's say 30,000. This is just for Bhadi. And we are not talking about rings and other things. No, we haven't yet touched that area. So this is why during COVID, because COVID we didn't care much about, it was only Bhadi. Yes, and then we move forward. So it will obviously challenge financially to marry. It will challenge. So and again, men would not want to marry when they don't have money. Ghana, they don't want to be disrespected. Men have very sensitive ego, and if they marry, they don't have money. There is also that fear apart from Runyadiwa, they're also saying, but how do I now run family, make it second and so on? So this is why many times, especially men, they would be hesitant to marry.
It's not that the desire is not there, it's only some constraints of financial problems.
It's not that the desire is not there. This is why people are now rushing towards cohabitation. Cohabitation is also a bit stable. Cohabitation, most of cohabitations are stable. And the benefit is that it's cheaper. as compared to marriage. It's cheaper. You can help your person, your family, raise children, and then at a later time when you are now, you have acquired something, that's when you can now marry. Yes, that is why people seem to be moving towards marriage, towards cohabitation. The figures for marriage figures may be declining, but if you were to do statistics for cohabitation, you will find cohabitation is also rising.
We'll get into that cohabitation as we continue with the conversation. Like right now, we get into it. Like in recent years, there has been a shift towards, as you've already mentioned, towards more people choosing cohabitation as compared to marriages. Is this a growing trend? Do you think marriage is becoming more important, especially in younger people compared to the previous generation?
Yes. I wouldn't say it's less important. Yes, many young people they love marriage. They love marriage. I deal with a lot of young people who are getting married, and you will find that they are so excited to go into marriage. But many young people who want to marry cannot marry because they don't have the funds, and therefore they would rather prefer cohabitation. And cohabitation, it helps you get to know each other whilst trying to put your house in order in terms of finances. These are some of the benefits. One, cohabitation, you share a lot of things. Young people, they will now be sharing rent, food, and then there's also that stability. It's also that stability. So I don't think the passion for marriage has declined. I don't think it has declined because if you look at the decline in the marriage, look also at the rise in figures on cohabitation. Yes, why are these people cohabiting? Many times it is because they are not ready to marry, or they don't have the means to get married. Give them the means, they would marry. Many of them, they would marry. I think Botswana, they still value marriage, even though there is this declining figures. But marriage, it has become expensive. It has become expensive. Hela, the figures they will continue, not only in Botswana. I think the world over, the figures did not look but I think this has been very drastic figures.
All right.
Yes.
I'm also interested in understanding the issue of, the expense, how marriage is expensive, because a lot of young people who want to get married, they're complaining about it, especially before you can, think of what is it that you're going to do. We are going to establish our life from here henceforth, but I don't have a stable income, I don't have anything. You have to bring children in the whole picture. So hongwe hande dingwa kana ba society se ka re repisetsa magadi le dio tse leng they are expected of us as men especially to get married. We could see in thriving in marriages.
Yes, kana magadi ke a chargewa ka khomo. Yes, khomo ke bokae. And our societies will find the standard figure 8 cows. Yes, and many they would start to work at 2.5. And 2.5, 8 times 80 is 20,000 pula. But that is the minimum.
The minimum,
Yes. And you will find going even up to 6, 7, 5,000 pula. So that's why I was saying 30,000 pula just for Bogadi. Just for Bogadi. Before you do any other things. Before you can talk about Tante and the Masira rings and many other things. So, me, if it was possible, I believe it will also contribute a lot in us seeing figures talenyalo rising.
All right. I'm also interested in understanding what is it that we should do, because as we already mentioned, the culture is dynamic, it's changing.
Yes.
Re ka ira eng go rotloetsa dikgang tse, because go rotloetsa dikgang tsa gore re kgone go dira gore lenyalo is ka nna so se se nna mo kgweleo mo go ba ileng gore ba batla go nyala, is the society as we are evolving, because ha ke dumele gore botsadi jana ka bogologolo ne bo ketegalwa go le ka let's compare to this. What is also influencing this mo ileng gore re bona le gore it's also about money now, not about the whole thing e le gore ke the institution of marriage. At the end of the day, it also leads to divorce.
Yes. I think it's dynamic. Me gape ha gongwe ba tla go busediwa ko morago go dikgosing. Because you will find the figures that you buang ka tsone. You find this tribunal, this number, this tribunal, this number, and maybe if we take it back to the society, to bogosi, gongwe baka thusa thata in terms of helping this. Yes, but you will also find parents can also play a huge part. Parents can also play a huge part. Go bua le bana ba bone gore nyame ngwana ka re ka go thusa, re ka go gopoletsa jana, looking at the fact that these people are also going to build a life. And for them to spend 100,000 hela ko tshimologong, they start life already in debt. Already in debt. Yes.
All right. Now, as gender roles continue to evolve, particularly with increased empowerment and independence, you mentioned this earlier on, of women, how do you think this influences attitudes towards marriage, both for men and women? We are looking at these young girls who are independent, who have got nothing, who lack nothing. And this young men are like, but o amogela go mpheta, ke a go mo tlhokomela yang, ga na go ikutlwa, ke I already mentioned the issue of ego that is being placed. How do we approach that?
Yes, it's a difficult thing for Botabodre. Yes, but it's coming. It's coming up where women are also breadwinners. This is something that is there is no how we can stop it. It is coming. Many women are now at high positions. They are focused. They are at school, so they will get good jobs. And this is something that we cannot stop. And the men should also prepare themselves for this. Ke hela gore bo men ako sitting where when they make more money they babua. But also men should also le bone play a part. Kana ha le monna o sa tshware se o sa amogele madi a mantsi. You can also contribute somehow. Molapi. Kana rona, we are used to bringing money and then watching as mama prepare things molaping diraseletse molapi. But now things are changing. It is the woman who brings money. Why can't I also contribute somehow molaping mulontelenting? Me women, because of this empowerment, this independence, they are not. They don't rush into marriage like before. In the past, marriage it was more like security. You would go into marriage to have a good life, to have a good life, to have this man who take care of you. But many women today, they can take care of themselves. They can take care of themselves. They are looking for a companion, for a friend.
Not a provider.
No, not a provider. Because they can also provide. They can also provide. And it's becoming difficult for men. Because men, they want to be a hero. They want to be seen as a hero for la palagago, from Sadiagago. The society has pushed men to provision, to provide, to protect. And when he doesn't provide, or he's not in a position to provide, yes, he's
being perceived less of a man.
Yes, he feels like I'm less of a man. Mosadi ha bana ntsa jana ke gone gore ga ke amogele sepe, gora gore o nyatsa salary ya me. But ha gongwe go na le genuine issues that needs to be dealt with.
Right. Now, I'm also interested in the issue, as you already mentioned in your last breath, to say dikgang tsone tsa gore ha o bona sa ntlotle jana, because it rises mo dikganyeng tse di tshwana le tsa GBV gore the numbers are showing, but it doesn't show much in marriages, GBV, but it shows in couples that are not married, cohabitation per se. Ba ne ba le mmogo ba tshose bana mme ba sa nyalana ka tsela ntseng jalo a motsietsa kana na ba tlhoka kutlwisano. That is the statement that mostly we are using as we are referring to dikgang tsa bo GBV. Do we think maybe the the establishment of this marriage institution also leads to the cancer GBV?
Very, very true. Very, very true. You know, married people, it's normal for them to seek help. As compared to people baba konte. So this is why probably you would see GBV it's more in relationships. Yes, even though it's there in marriages. Even though it's there in marriages.
Yeah.
Yes. But married people, when they have issues, they are quick to go to Batsadi, to go to pastors, to go to counseling. May in relationships, you have no one. May even people in relationships, they should also seek help. But the society arona kana I recognize atata ke hela go mpie go gone go ntse go nna botoka, but society arona it will recognize wa go batsading because we know you. Because we know you, that is why we can allow you go rate. Me ha wa mo relationship in rutari posa gore me re go retsa gone ole mang. Yes, ole mang. And the very hell and all the issues they men also have a very sensitive ego, an ego that can easily be bruised by the small little things. So there is also a need but they understand each other. They understand each other, so that they also work together.
All right. Now, as we're about conversation, as the founder of Olorato Marriage Counselling Center, do you think marriage counseling helps, address the challenges that couples face today? Do you think counseling could reverse maybe the decline in marriage rates?
Yes. Counseling is playing a big role in building stronger, solid marriages. You know, the challenges that are there, it's because of lack of knowledge. Many of us, we go inside marriage loving each other, but limited in knowledge. In knowledge. And what is going to challenge your marriage is lack of knowledge. Lack of knowledge, lack of information. Because inside marriage, you're going to deal with issues of in-laws, issues of communication, issues of finances, issues of selfishness. There are so many issues. Issues of infidelity. There are so many issues that you are also going to have to deal with. But many of us, we rush into marriage and we are unprepared. Marriage does not solve problems. If you see red flags before marriage,
get into the institution.
Now this is an opportunity to seek help. It's an opportunity to seek help before rushing into marriage. Now, many of us would say, yanong ki khongwa wa nyala yanong ki dumela gore ha bona nyala e gore gore yanong wa change. Wa change yanong wa bona nyala yana. He's still the same person. Yes, we should deal with these issues before marriage, so that when we go inside marriage, counseling, there is a lot of adjustments for these people to be one person. Counseling helps them in terms of adjusting to live together.
All right. And that is how we come to the end of this conversation. Re Khaopile, thank you so much for our insights. I believe as Retsoletsi, we will also get to look at all the factors that we've discussed.
Thank you very much.
And that is how we come to the end of this conversation. Stay with us. Botswana ke re tla bo re tswelela ka thulaganyo ke boahela ka haketla.
We must be humble. And we have no excuse not to be humble. When we have such guiding lights as the one we are celebrating here today, who was the very epitome